Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be going over the max level Crusader with all of the skills. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. We'll be swapping skills in and out. I'll also be showing you guys some of the forms of endgame content in Diablo Immortal. So first off, let's go ahead and go over what the heck some of these skills do. And I'll go ahead and show you guys all of the skills that we have access to in the alpha. All of mine are maxed. In order to get your skills maxed, all you need to do is basically just play and get higher levels. You don't have to like equip them. They don't gain experience like in maybe another action RPG, but you can also gain a further level, actually gain several further levels by actually equipping charms to get +2 a very specific skill, kind of like how you would in Diablo 2. But all the numbers in green are the ones that would actually change as you not only level them up, but in addition to that, the charms can increase it further. But let me go ahead and actually just explain the skills that we're going to be using in the first part of gameplay, and then we'll just kind of read them because it's kind of important to know what the heck some of these skills do. So you have what's called a primary attack. This will also generate your ultimate charge. So this is just punish. It just hits an enemy, and then it also increases our block chance. And then the other ability, the counterattack storm, this is when we go ahead and build it up. That's going to be our ultimate. So it just does damage, increases our block chance, and then we get to enhance it, and then it'll also grant us a shield that will be able to absorb 20% of our maximum life. But again, all the numbers in green can be changed as we increase them. And then the first skill that we have on our skill bar is going to be Condemn, which is going to build up a massive explosion. So it takes a while to charge up, then it hits really, really hard. And then you can actually activate it again to detonate early. Some skills will be like multi-skills, as in you activate it and then it has like a second activation in order for something to activate. Depending on what the skill is, it could be a lot of different things. But we have Conjuration of Light over here. So this is call down a beam of holy light from the heavens that protects you and all nearby allies with damage immunity for 3 seconds. And then we have Consecration over here. We're going to go and just throw some AoE on the ground. It's going to deal 8 damage over time. And then we have Draw and Quarter, which is actually just going to be our mobility, but in addition with that, it drags the enemy. And then on top of that, we get to replace our primary attack with another attack that is actually going to be able to hit multiple monsters. And then on top of that, because I happen to have a legendary, it will also call down bombardment strikes on people. So let's go ahead and show off the gameplay of this, but I wanted to explain the first set of skills that we'll be using for the first set of the gameplay here. We're going to go ahead and do a challenge riff. We're just going to hop right in. This way you guys get a variety of gameplay, and it's not just me reading the skills. But yeah, there's going to be max level. Obviously, when the game finally comes out, we will be able to access some more skills. So the first skill over here is going to be that charge up. So it's going to take a second, and then it's going to go boom. It's going to hit for a massive amount of damage. This one is just going to prevent us from taking any damage, which is actually really helpful. But you know, against the enemies, it's not going to deal any damage. Now we have Consecration. That's going to go ahead and apply a damage over time on the ground. And then we have our potion over here. So at the moment, I don't believe that there's anything to change the potions. And then we have Draw and Quarter, which is the horse skill. It's fine if I don't complete this rift in time. The whole goal is to kind of show you guys the skills and kind of how they work. So with the horse, it's really cool. You guys can see we can drag the enemies, and maybe you can start charging up over here and deal a massive explosion. And if you pop it early, which is what I just did, then yeah, you get a lot less damage. But I think we're okay on time. I'm just going to swap out the skills because there's a lot more skills than what you guys see. And the reason why I say that is because the legendaries in this game, they actually affect what the skill does. And it can be completely different. So Sacred Fire and Punish, they kind of look very similar. I'll swap this one out just so you guys can see the different base attack. Basically, one can hit for AoE, the other one doesn't hit for AoE. But the ulti on this one makes it so we're going to get an enhanced Sacred Fire, which is going to increase the damage done to the target for each enemy killed, and that can stack multiple times, up to 10 times right now. And we also grant ourselves a shield for our ultimate. So next up, I'm going to go ahead and equip a Falling Sword, but I also have a legendary that makes so it instead causes us to surge forward and deal damage to all of the enemies during its duration, and this is granted from our legendary. So I'm going to go swap this out. It's almost kind of like if you played Diablo 3, it's kind of like runes. Like they completely change up the skills. Like they're different skills, I would say, completely. For some of the legendaries, they will just increase the damage or radius by 10%. But here's what Falling Sword looks like. So we have 1 attack, 2 attack, and then 3 attack. Now, this one over here, this little banner that we place on the ground, what it's normally going to do is increase our crit chance to 100%, which is actually really good. But instead what I have is the ability to make it become a turret. So that's what the legendary does. And then over here we've got Judgment. So I'll throw it down, and then in that circle, if they stand in there, it takes a small brief moment, but then it will also explode. And then this next skill over here, I'm going to activate it, and it'll basically immobilize them. And the name of that skill is actually going to be Sacred Chain. So Falling Sword, it works like it normally would in Diablo 3, where you're able to basically land down. So you cast it, and I'll show you what the base version of it does in a moment. I'm just going to swap out a bunch of the skills here. But yeah, that's what that one does. And this one, like I said, increases your crit chance, but I have it instead making it a turret, and then Judgment, it will slow them, and then it will stun them in the small circle. But Sacred Chain, I also have a legendary that changes it, so it now does a frozen chain that doesn't break. So normally how it works is it sticks to multiple enemies, it deals damage, and then it will stun them, and they are dispelled by damage, meaning that the stun will wear off if they take any damage. But now instead, with the frozen chains, they can't move out of it. It lasts for a different duration, potentially, because this one it stuns for 8 seconds. This one lasts only 3 seconds, but it doesn't break from damage. So that's the change over here. Next up, though, let's go ahead and do Shield Charge. So we'll equip Shield Charge, we'll equip Shield Glare, and we'll also equip Spinning Shield, and we'll do Sweep Attack, and that should pretty much round it off. Okay, so with Shield Charge over here, we're going to charge forward, and then it will stun them if they collide with terrain. But now I have a legendary that this one also changes it. So it's going to go to a location, and then there's going to be this circle of shields that will prevent enemies from being able to have their projectiles cross, and enemies. And then with Shield Glare, it will blind them, and only blinds them in PvP if they're facing. So some of the skills are different for specifically PvP, as in they're usually it's going to be like a weaker version for balance issues. And then we have Spinning Shield, which throws a spinning shield and it comes back to you. However, I have a legendary that also changes this, where it says the spinning shield now hovers at a location. It continuously deals damage and also reduces their movement speed. And then with the charm, I have a bonus rank, so like the damage numbers are going to be changed up a little bit. But let's go ahead and show off these skills now. So you can see what the shield charge looks like, and then we'll have the glare, so we'll be able to blind them. And then this is one of my favorite skills. So this one will just kind of hover over them, and it'll continuously do a bunch of ticks of damage. And then this one is a charge up. You can see basically how it works. Now I can move this skill. Like a lot of the skills, you can aim. Like if I wanted to, I can aim it. I just have like the smart cast on right now. I'm using an application that lets me use my keyboard and mouse, and I just have everything on auto target because it just makes things pretty easy. And in terms of like it targeting the correct thing, it usually does a very good job in the game already doing that. But like I said, a lot of the skills are going to be different, and that revolves around the legendaries that you actually equip. So if I go ahead and go in my inventory, I've had a lot of legendaries, so I can actually show you guys the differences in the skills. So this one changes up Falling Sword, so we'll equip Falling Sword. We'll also transfer over the rank of the gem, as well as like the upgrades. It's completely for free, which is really awesome. So like if you start upgrading one item, you can swap it, and it doesn't really make a difference in terms of like the investment that you put into. So you can enhance things and not worry about like, am I wasting my investment, right? So next up we have the Spiraling Shield is going to actually change up that skill, so I'm going to transfer the gem also, and I'll show you those two new skills like kind of like one at a time over here. So let's go to skills, and then let's re-equip, and you can do this right during a challenge rift, which is awesome. Normally for some of the content, like if you play Diablo 3, like they don't let you change skills, so it's kind of cool that they do allow us to do that. So we'll go ahead and do this. Now we have a shockwave that deals damage, and in addition to that, the spinning shield is also changed. I'm just going to equip it right here so you guys can see it. So this is what this one does. We do that, and you can see there's just a little wave. And then now this skill over here, it spins around us. If you guys played Diablo 2 or even 3, it almost reminds me of like Blessed Hammer, where like it'd start from like, you know, where you're at, and then it spirals outward. And then this is the basic attack, the different one. This one does like an AoE, And this is our little like bar that needs to be charged up all the way for the ultimate to be able to be used. Now going into the other skills, so let's go ahead and do the sweep. We'll transfer that also. And then now with shield glare, this one is like completely different. And then actually we have the chest pieces can change things too. We'll go do holy fire as well. And then with the helm, holy banner is replaced with the statue. So now we have another 4 skills to mess around with. And this is cool. Like I said, it completely can change up some of the skills. And I'll show you guys, I have stashed some other items that you guys can see how it works. So we'll do a holy banner. Now it's going to replace with the statue. And then on top of that, we also got the shield glare. This one's going to be completely different too. And then sweep attack. This one also, enemies hit by sweep attack are pulled towards us. So we'll go and equip that one as well. And also, lastly, the Conjuration of Light. This one's also going to be changed. Keep in mind, I'm not trying to like actually complete this rift like on time. I'm just trying to show you guys the skills here. Even though we might be able to still do it. So here's what the banner does. It just kind of distracts them. They're going to attack it. This one is a channeled ability now. So like I have to hold it down. Actually, it's probably better if I hold it this way. And then I can actually aim it towards the enemies. Which is really cool. I like that. And then this one, enemies that are hit are pulled towards. Well, I was supposed to pull it towards me. That guy maybe, since he died, it didn't really matter. And then this one, instead of us preventing ourselves from taking any damage, we have a little like AoE. Reminds me of like some of the sweeping wind monk builds in Diablo 3. But yeah, we can just go ahead and taunt the enemies. Be okay on that. The enemies, and you can see it'll pull them towards us with that ability. I'm digging that. The beam is kind of nice too if you want to sit far away. Let's see if we can still complete it on time. So we'll start building up our ultimate charge from just using our primary attack. Cooldown of a potion. This attack is kind of deadly, so we'll sit kind of far away. It's just because those bats actually hit pretty hard. Try to get out of that. Go do some AoE damage. Pop the heal real quick. See if we can get it done in time. I think we're like basically that. Oh, the time has run out. Okay, I've actually never failed a challenge rift, so I guess you just go right back into town if you don't complete it on time. I'm gonna mix up the gameplay content, so that's like one form of endgame content. You kill the boss and you just kind of finish off the rift. But since I was like swapping out the skills, obviously it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Now next up we have Draw and Quarter, Calls and Bombardment, which I've already shown off, but normally it just doesn't do that. And then now this one's gonna change up Condemn, so we'll go ahead and equip Condemn as well. Holy Banner, we showed off that one. And consumes damage to... Okay, so we'll equip this one as well. And we'll transfer all of the stats as well over. And I'm just like double checking, make sure we show off everything that I can. Some of these, I'm not sure if they have all the legendaries out, but this is like, I'm going to show you guys as much as I possibly can. Anyways, so first off, the change over here. We will go change the sweep attack. We don't really need. Well, I guess I can swap the slot. It's fine. So, oh, that's the banner one. We already have sweep attack equipped. And then for inventory, and I'll also show you guys. Actually, you know what? Since I'm going to be doing this, I can actually just path to my storage, and I can show you guys the other legendaries that I have acquired. So while we're walking over there, we'll check out the inventory. And we'll go change up, what was the other one? We showed off the statue, the freezing change, we've shown it. I guess we can show falling swords. Oh, so we have the sweep attack. And then condemn. Okay, so that was the other skill. So go to skills and go to condemn. So this one's going to actually make it so it brings all the enemies towards us. And so some of the legendaries, they'll just be like increases the damage by 10%. I don't feel like I need to show you guys what that does, you know, that's just kind of there. But now let's go and actually accept some of the bounties, and I'll show you guys some of the end game content for bounties. So these are dailies that you can repeat, and you'll want to do these because these will grant you charms. Charms, remember, increase the max level of the skill, and I'll show you guys the ultimate once we build it up. Most of the ultimates from a lot of the classes, they feel like they do like a little bit more damage. They'll do like some AoE, and sometimes they'll have some sort of defensive thing. Like in our case, we get to have 20%. Of our max HP. So these are dailies that you can do. If you guys have played Diablo 3, this is kind of the same concept of it. It's like, go here, do this. And so we'll just go travel to an area. So a lot of people were originally doing like the rifts as a form of endgame content, but in fact, just like walking around the world, like the open like areas and partying up with people without even like clicking invite to party, like you just do these events with people is kind of another form of endgame content, and it's a lot more enjoyable for sure than just doing rifts in terms of not only for rewards, but I also feel like they're a little bit more enjoyable. But I'm gonna go and show you guys the little spin. So this is kind of like a whirlwind. And so this one now will continuously pull the enemies towards us, which can be good. We can combo it with this. So you guys can see how you can combine some of the skills to work well with each other. And if you're wondering, like, what skills do I actually use? Here, I'll actually, let me eliminate this guy. Oh, we still need to show off the ultimate. So let me build that up. We'll eliminate all the enemies. And I'll show you guys, like, my skill setup that I'm currently using, because this was a question that I did get asked. And this way you guys can kind of see, like, maybe it's not necessarily going to be, like, a build guide, but it's more so some skills that I put together that I feel like worked relatively well. Okay, now they're just going away. All right, so let's go to our inventory. And I was running the one with Falling Sword, but I wasn't even using it. You don't have to equip the skill. Is this thing still attacking me? Okay, let's get rid of this guy first. I go up to him and he's like, okay. He didn't want none of it. All right, so I was just equipping the one that was basically the highest like power. I think it was maybe this one, because I had 2 copies of the same sword, and I really like the Holy Banner. This one's really awesome. It really helps out because it just not only does it act as another like target, but it also is able to deal a pretty decent amount of damage, I would say. All right, so now that we have like, I'm back to my, I think I'm back to my old setup in terms of gear. There might be one item. I think the shield. I wasn't running the shield glare. Instead, I was running the. I'm not gonna join that one. I just want to show you. Okay, the hovers at location. I like this one a little bit more. Okay, so in terms of the actual skills that I used, I would run draw and quarter, and then I really liked the Holy Banner. I swapped it over here, and then consecration. And then I also liked having the spinning shield. That's the charm that I have. And to show you guys kind of what that looks like, because this is like kind of a showcase of max level, let me show you what that actually looks like. So we have these charms. They roll randomly for a bunch of different skills across multiple classes. So this way, you'll actually start selling these. You'll convert it to a skill stone, which can then be RNG randomly. It will remove one of the like skills that you select. You get to select which skill you remove, but then it replaces one from another set. But to really sum it up, it's just the damage numbers in green that really get changed, or maybe duration if it's like some type of buff. But yeah, this is kind of how I play. I gather up all the enemies over here, bring them to a location, throw down my banner, and I throw down my consecration, and it just obliterates most of the things. Sometimes I will throw down like a shield. I usually save it for like elites, because I'm going to sit in front of the elite. And I want those ticks to keep on proccing. Here we have a little shrine. Actually, do we still have time to do the event? Okay. So this is a little event we can kind of, I guess, go towards. And you can see on the map, hopefully it'll show it up. Yeah, it'll show up the location. So, you know what? Let's do this little, like, this one is not a bounty, but a lot of the bounties are similar to Diablo 3. Like, you go here, activate this certain thing, or it's like kill X amount of enemies. Sometimes it'll also be kill certain amount of enemies, then collect this, then bring that to this, and then a boss will come out, and then you kill the boss, and that's the bounty. But most of them are like kill quests. Sometimes you will have to do like a full dungeon. But yeah, let's go ahead and defeat the guards. This will be a good little closure to our little play session here. And usually there'll be other people that will join in. You can see there's someone else over here that is joining in. And we still need to show off the ultimate too, so Right now, I'm just gonna use my primary attack because in order to build up the ultimate, that's what you gotta do. I'll drag the enemies. Although, that's gonna be different. It's gonna change our primary attack. I feel like there should be some music here. Sometimes in this game, what I've noticed, and to give it some feedback, I've noticed that the music just goes away. And this can happen even in the town. I'm not sure if it's maybe like my device. Yeah, I can't hear like any like BGM. Unless it, like this area is specifically not supposed to have any. But like I've noticed that also in the town. So to give him some feedback, just make sure the music like actually loops. But yeah, we're almost there on an ulti. If not, we can do like a riff real quick. Because I think people want to see the ultimate. Like, I'm going to definitely show you guys that. So we'll build it up. And a boss will come out over here. Oh. Well, they just destroyed it instantly. So we defeated the tax collector. And that was it. Sometimes for some of these, you'll get like a little chest or something will come up. But let's go and... I guess it'd be more entertaining if I actually complete the bounty. We'll complete a bounty over here. So let's go. Over here, and our goal is to kill royal guards to collect royal armor. So you'll see over on the minimap on the top that like you want to kill the ones that have these little like ticks next to them. So I'm just gonna grab a bunch of them. So I can show off the ultimate. And energy globes basically reset the cooldown. So if I activated like all 3 of those shields, bam, I grab that and I have 3 more. Now some skills, keep in mind that you cannot overlap. Like the little banner that I throw on the ground, I can't have 2 banners ever. Alright, so our ulti's up. I think this one might spawn a boss. So what I'm going to do is we'll kill all of the... we'll complete the quest. Because it might spawn something in. Or if there's just like an elite, I'll activate it on the elite. Just so it's like a little bit more worth it. Otherwise the enemies will probably die too fast. Okay. Oh, okay, here's at least like a blue. So this is our ulti. When we kill things, we're going to be building up these stacks. And if I click here, you can see it's going to increase the damage that we deal with the basic attack for, I believe, 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, that's our ulti. So I permanently have this, well, not permanent. I have this buff for like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so we need to kill... Well, we need to kill 3 more, and then potentially, they will drop. Alright, so we just need... Well, we got it. We got all of the armor pieces. So we're good on that. And then, okay, so we have to place it in a certain area. Like I mentioned before, a lot of the bounty quests will be like, kill X amount. Or it'll be like, kill a certain amount and then place... like the item, whether it's like the like bile or like armors, collect scorpions, like certain things like that. There's like scorpion carcasses, I think is what it was. But yeah, then we take it over here, and then as long as we don't get interrupted here, because this is like a channel that has to go through. If you play Demon Hunter, a lot of these become a lot easier because you can just smoke screen. Okay, so now we have Captain Wentworth. Go throw those down. I'll get on the horse so we can get the bombardment strikes. And he is gone. And then so we can return to the Bounty Master, and all you have to do is click on it. And so yeah, you'll do all these daily, and this is how you get charms. It's how you get honor. Honor can be used to go and purchase legendaries, and it actually is like they give you a pretty decent amount, especially like if you complete the challenge rifts, which we didn't complete the other one, but like you get basically it goes up like 5 every single time that you do it. But Let me go ahead and at least complete this. Sometimes it can be a little laggy, especially when you first get to town, because you know there's like lots of people and like it's got lots of stuff to load in. But if we claim our reward, you see that we get okay, we just got a pair of blue boots. Not so great, but you know it's random what you get. So I don't think I've gotten a legendary yet off of doing these, but you know that could change. But showing off some of the rewards, so you can get honor, and if I go to the shop over, you can see what you can buy with the honor. And we can get a mystery legendary item for 3,000. Let's definitely go purchase. I actually kind of want this too, because this actually increases the attack of your primary attack, which can be kind of nice. I'm going to do this because it's going to be more exciting for the video. But we're going to go buy a mystery legendary item. And we got legendary shoulders, and we'll have to identify these. So maybe we'll actually see a new skill. So if we click on it, you'll see that we can visit identifier, and it will warp you to a identifier. And since we're already in town, it's just going to put us right there. Sometimes it won't let you just auto path to it because you'll have to have like the area or zone unlocked. But yeah, let me show you guys what this does. But also, like, if you activate a mobility ability when it's auto pathing, it will cancel it, so then you have to re-auto path. But so let's see what this item does, and we'll show it off if it does something cool. Drawn quarter duration. Okay, this is actually good. Not only is it going to be better, but the drawn quarter duration. But yeah, like I said, some of the legendaries, they don't change up the skill like too much. Like obviously 30% duration is like, that's kind of cool. I get to be in the horse a lot longer, which means my bombardment is going to be longer. So there is some ideas for theory crafting a build, but again, we're in the earlier stages in the alpha, so we might not have access to every legendary. But like building your character, you can think about trying to combine two legendaries together, like you have bombardment strikes, and then on top of that, you also have increased duration. So you can kind of build your character to kind of specifically build onto one skill, but also there's certain things that will work with, let's say, channeling skills, because skills have tags to it. So this one is damage and multiple stage. This one is just a buff. So you can maybe get certain things that will say like increased buff duration, or it will say, like I think this, do I have one that's a channel? There's control. There's ones that will affect very specific tags in a skill, and that's what I really like. I wish they would focus in on more than just like drawn quarter duration increased, or if it said like specifically control skills, or I think that would be a better idea in terms of like theory crafting builds versus just like one skill in terms of giving them some feedback. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about it in terms of the Crusader as well as the skills. What would you guys like to see? Because keep in mind, they're not done with this game yet. There are still more skills to come. There's going to be obviously way more legendaries in the game when the game launches that will completely change up some of the skills. I think it would be definitely really, really cool to see like Blessed Hammer, some of these skills that we really liked seeing in like Diablo 2, and I guess basically the shield throw that I showed you before. You can get one that's kind of like hammer, but I think we should have something hammer related. It would be kind of cool. But anyways, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it, and if you're new here and do want to see more Diablo content in the future, subscribe, turn on that bell, and you'll definitely see more very soon. But take care, guys, and I will catch you on the next video, and I'm signing out. Peace.